They can ask for more money for less. Well, how can you perform the following task? Reduce costs, increase quality. The answer for healthcare is the same as it is for retail products or anything else. A large consumer market where people have power and the ability to buy things. So the best way to straighten out healthcare in this country is to totally change our tax system and make it very, very enticing, very desirable for people to buy their own health insurance. And the more people we can encourage to buy their own health insurance, by every single additional person that we encourage to buy the price of health insurance will start to come down. If we give people a $15,000 tax exemption, if we allow them to have health savings accounts, we can take the number of people who have their own health insurance from 17 million to 50 million. And that progression will do miracles for healthcare. All of a sudden, you'll see the cost of health insurance go down by 10%, 20%, 50%. You'll eventually see it get cut in half. And you'll see the quality increase. Isn't that what happens with retail products? I'll tell you a little story about that. Do you know the iPhone? Any of you have an iPhone? You got an iPhone? There you go. He's got an iPhone. Can I show you an iPhone? Not that I know how to. I'm not going to talk on the cell phone. I'm just going to show it. There's an iPhone. Okay. This came out about 4 months ago, 5 months ago? Right. Back like in June or something, in May or June. I was at a friend's house, and he has two youngsters, probably about college age, but somewhere between like 19 and 21. One of them had bought the iPhone, and the other didn't. And the one who bought the iPhone was trying to, it got a little complicated at first, to program it, I guess. Not that bad. For me, it's like calculus, you know. But he was showing me how he was programming and all the stuff. All I was interested in is, can you see baseball games on it? When he told me no, I wasn't that interested anymore. But he was showing me how to program. The other kid was sitting there and he's like reading a book. And I said, how come? I said to the youngster who didn't have it, I said, how come you don't have an iPhone? And you know what he said to me? I'm going to wait until it's half price. So I said to the one, I said, the kid who was working on the iPhone, I said, you're going to be a really good computer technologist. And I pointed to the kid who said it's going to be half price. I said, you're going to be a billionaire. He just got it. He just got it. Democratic candidates for president don't get it. They don't get it. He got it. That's how you reduce price. And the iPhone now is $200 less when it first came out. I thought it went from $599 to $399. $499 to $399. Well, he's not going to buy it until it gets down to like $200. But it will. It'll get down to $200. And probably when it gets down there, it'll have even more features. Why? How does that happen? How did that miracle happen? How could the iPhone go down 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%, 50%? How? And quality stays the same or goes up. Because millions of people are buying it. So you got to get millions of people to buy health insurance. And you got to give them a tax incentive to do it and a health savings account and give these young people equity in there. That's how we'll save health care. It's the American way to save it, not the European way to save it. I mean, if we do Hillary care in this country, where are the Canadians going to go for health care? They'll have to go to Texas. Finally, we also have to make sure that we keep regulations sensitive. I know it sounds fine to regulate. We can't regulate businesses out of existence. To understand the interplay between government and business is to understand how to create jobs for people. I did it. The difference between me and the Democratic candidates is I've actually run something. But they've never run anything. Did you ever think about that? Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, John Edwards, they've never run a city like I did. They never run a state like Governor Perry is doing. I don't think they've ever run a big business of any kind. They've never had to make payrolls, never had to pay taxes for other people, make sure they were paid. They never had to do budgets. They never had to think of the practical implications of what they they're saying. You can just promise anything, say anything. It's important to have that experience. It's important to have that experience because you learn you can't promise all things to all people. You can't one day promise them baby bonds for $22 billion, which Hillary promised about a week ago. She's going to give out baby bonds to everybody born in the country. They're going to get $5,000. They're just going to get sent to you. A nice baby bond could cost about $21 billion. See, when I say that, and all of a sudden the practicality of it starts to enter. Maybe I immediately think of the practicality because I ran something. And it's going to cost more than $21 billion because somebody's going to have to print it. You've got to pay them for that. Somebody's going to have to put Hillary's picture on it. You're going to have to pay them for that. And somebody's got to mail it. And the post office wants a little money, you know. It starts to add up now. And this isn't Hillary's money, it's yours. So Hillary backed off that, and now she's got another one where she's going to give you $1,000 for a 401k. And I'm losing track now of promises of spending your money. All kinds of money is going to be coming from Washington if Hillary is president. The problem with all kinds of money coming from Washington is it's your money. And it just gets recirculated through Washington. And Washington takes like a 30-40% discount, and it gets to be a lot more expensive. And our whole economy then gets pushed in the tank. So I can sum it up this way. There's a book by the new president of France called Testimony. You should read the book because it outlines a really sensible economic program. President of France, the new president of France wants to do the following. He wants to reduce the corporate tax rate in France because it's too high. And he's afraid he's losing businesses to other countries because his corporate tax rate is too high. That the French are losing jobs. Well, his corporate tax rate is less than America's. He wants to reduce the income taxes. He wants to do away with the inheritance tax, or at least reduce it, because he sees the French taking their wealth, the wealthy ones taking their wealth and moving it to England. And therefore, France doesn't get the benefit of that wealth. He wants to give people school choice. He wants to give parents what we call vouchers, so they can pick the school of their choice, private, parochial, public, charter. And he wants to get the French to work more than 35 hours a week. That's good, right? And he's going to give them tax-free money to do it. Okay, these are all American reforms. They're like totally contrary to the centralized socialistic ideas they had in France for a long time that's holding them back. So I've been having this dream lately. It goes something like this. He's on an airplane, Sarkozy's on an airplane going from France to the United States. He's about halfway over the Atlantic. And this other airplane is coming right up toward his airplane. They almost get it. They get so close you can look inside the window of the other plane. And he recognizes the three people in the plane going from the United States to France. And he waves to them very politely, and they wave to him very enthusiastically. And in the other plane, going to France, are Barack Obama, Hillary Clinton, and John Edwards. They're all going to France. They're all going to France to figure out how they can get all of these failed policies from France. And let's see if we can inflict them on the American people. Higher taxes, more government control of health, more government control of education, more government control of who knows what, the air that you breathe. I mean, all these things are fair. The whole world is going in the other direction. The whole world is going in the direction of bigger free markets, more free trade, lower taxes, smaller central government, and we got three candidates for president that are going in exactly the opposite direction. If we're not careful, if you don't elect me, this country could be to the left of France. And that's why I'm running, because I understand how to keep this government fiscally conservative, which means a growing economy for you, particularly for young people. These policies sound good, and they are extremely damaging. They sound very enticing. We'll send you money. We'll guarantee your health care. We'll take care of you from cradle to grave. We'll send you money when you get born. The problem with that is that's the last time you get any money from Washington. The rest of it you got to earn. And you got to grow up in a society that supports your ability to earn money, your ability to work for yourself and take care of yourself.